of methods we have to discuss this topic. So the first method is a replacement method. So whenever evil thoughts arise in our mind, we have to change our wholesome thoughts into wholesome thoughts. So briefly, we can understand like that. This is the first method. So the second method is we need to find out the cause of evil thoughts in order to remove the evil thoughts. And then the second one is we need to find out. So whenever the evil thoughts arise in our mind, we need to find out the danger of our thoughts. And then sometimes whenever evil thoughts arise in our mind, so we need to forget or we need to change our attention. So this is the fourth method. So the last method is we need to attack evil thoughts with the good thoughts. This is the fifth method. So very easy, not so difficult. So please, so now, so you can prepare this question for your exam. So very simple and very remarkable for us whenever we want to remove our evil thoughts when they arise in our mind. How to manage evil thoughts based on the Vidaka Santana Sutta. So after explaining the 5 methods, it is better for you to mention the results or benefit of removing evil thoughts. So that is why we need to focus 2 points regarding this question. First of all, we need to 3 points. First of all, we need to mention types of thinking. Types of thinking. After that, so we need to mention ways of removing evil thoughts whenever they arise in our mind. The third point is the result of removing evil thoughts. So 3 points based on the 3 points mentioned in this Vidaka Santana Sutta. So we need to discuss this topic. So this is the question for the Vidaka Santana Sutta. For the Mahagopalaka Sutta, so I omitted the first question mentioned. So the remaining 3 items will appear in your exam for the Mahagopalaka Sutta. Feeling 2, 3 types of feeling. 3 types of feeling. So these 3 kinds of feeling will appear in your exam for the Mahagopalaka Sutta. So you can prepare. I omitted the first question mentioned. So the remaining 3 items of question will appear in the exam for the Mahagopalaka Sutta. So this is the last discourse for the second semester. Very happy, huh? So the last discourse. Another lakkhana sutta. So this sutta is you have already known. So some points regarding the another lakkhana sutta. So maybe when you prepare for the interim exam, so you have already known some points about the another, especially 3 characteristics, T lakkhana. So anyway, when we study this another lakkhana sutta, it is better for us to study this another lakkhana sutta based on these questions. Especially these questions are related to the another, especially the characteristics of not self. So first of all, so we need to understand the first one. So 3 concepts that arouse or leads to a lot of controversy in the Buddhist study or in the teachings of the Buddha. So another is one of them. So there are 3 concepts or 3 points or 3 conditions which leads to a lot of controversy among the scholars, especially Buddhist scholars, regarding the 3 points. So and then, so the second point is types of approaching the sutta. So in order to understand one discourse effectively and efficiently, so it is better for us to approach these 2 types of approaching. So, and then another one, so whenever we study another lakkhana, it is better for us to study this another lakkhana together with the remaining 2 lakkhana, dukkha lakkhana and anicca lakkhana. That is why I added those 2 lakkhana to this discourse. Here, regarding the what are the specific features of anicca, dukkha, and anatta? So after you have got degree from this university, maybe you become meditation teachers. At the time that you can explain, you are yogi, meditators, regarding or everything about the lakkhana based on this information. So this at the time, so this information were helpful for you. So that is why I add to this point. What are the specific features of anicca, dukkha, and anatta? And then what is anicca? What is anicca? Anicca lakkhana, dukkha, dukkha lakkhana, anatta, and anatta lakkhana. So these questions are very simple. For example, if someone asks at the value what is dukkha, anicca, dukkha, anatta, what is anicca, lakkhana, dukkha, lakkhana, anatta, lakkhana? So immediately we cannot give the answer to those questions. So if we know this point in advance, we can easily give the answer to those questions. That is why I add this question to this discourse. So very useful for us whenever we want to share some knowledge about the characteristics with other people. So this answer or this question will be effective for us when we explain this question. And then another one. So what kind of dharmas are called anicca, dukkha, and anatta? So according to not only according to this anatta lakkhana sutta, but also according to the other discourses, what kind of dharma is called anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So and then this one is very, very useful for us. One especially about contemplating three characteristics. For example, when we contemplate anatta lakkhana, what kind of benefits can we get in our daily life? Something like that. And then another one here, why are three characteristics difficult for us to comprehend? Or why are three characteristics not manifest to all of us in our mental process? So among the three characteristics, so regarding dukkha lakkhana and anicca lakkhana and dukkha lakkhana, so we can easily understand the nature of anicca and dukkha, but it is so difficult for us to understand the nature of anatta. So when we study this point, we will easily or we will clearly understand that point. And then another one is here, how the Buddha teaches the guide how to contemplate anatta. So that is the main point of anatta lakkhana sutta. And then, so what is the real purpose of teaching? So the characteristics of anatta. So after that, we need to understand the benefits of developing the lakkhana, three characteristics. So in the end, so we will clearly understand here that point. What are the benefits of seeing things as they really are with the right wisdom? So at the end of the discourse, the Buddha mentioned the benefits of seeing things as they really are with the right wisdom. So we will clearly understand that point. Okay, let's go to the first question. So here, three concepts. There are three concepts that leads to or arouse a lot of controversy in the teachings of the Buddha. So these things leads to a lot of controversy among the Buddhist scholars or in the teachings of the Buddha. Maybe you have already know. So regarding some controversy regarding these three points. So the first one is karma. How many types of karma? Generally, we can divide the karma into three types: adita karma, anagata karma, and pachokana karma. So regarding the karma, we can see a lot of controversy. So that is why karma is one of the three concepts that leads to a lot of controversy in the teachings of the Buddha. The second one is anatta. So anatta is also leads to a lot of controversy among Buddhist scholars or among the learners or the teachings of the Buddha. So the last one is nibbana. So very difficult for us to explain the nature of nibbana in order to make ordinary person understand the nature of nibbana clearly and easily. So that is why. So these three things leads to a lot of controversy. So whenever we, as a person who are studying the teachings of the Buddha, we need to know these three points because these 3 points leads to a lot of controversy. So for example, when you are qualifying for a MA, so if you choose this one of them, so you must try to study so some points regarding this one because these 3 points leads to a lot of controversy. Most of the scholars, most of the students, so they usually avoid these 3 topics because very difficult to explain. So karma, anatta, and nibbana. So very difficult to explain. So anatta is also one of them. So here, so we need to find out the reason why these 3 concepts leads to a lot of controversy whenever for everyone who are studying the teachings of the Buddha. So we need to find out. In this case, different people have different reasons why these 3 concepts leads to a lot of controversy in the teachings of the Buddha. So we need to find out the reason. So you yourself find out the reason why these 3 concepts leads to a lot of controversy. So okay, so let's go to another point. The 2 types of approaching the sutta. So whenever we approach one sutta, it is better for us to use the 2 types of approaching. So the first one is textual approach to the sutta. So the second one is contextual approach to the sutta. So when we study the one discourse, if we use only one approach, especially textual approach, we cannot get a lot of knowledge. We can get the knowledge given by the specific discourse. For example, if we study another lakkhana sutta, only another lakkhana sutta, we can get only the knowledge given by the another lakkhana sutta. So such an approach is called textual approach. And then contextual approach to the sutta. Here, contextual approach focuses not only on the involved in the specific discourse, but also on the other information or facts with that particular discourse. So when we study another lakkhana sutta, so we need to consider all the information given by the another lakkhana sutta as well as other resources of information given by the other discourses. So such an approach is called contextual approach. So if we focus only on another lakkhana sutta, our knowledge is very limited. That is why whenever we approach one discourse, it is better for us to use these 2 approaches in order to get a wide range of knowledge or a wide range of knowledge and wisdom. So that is why I mentioned here. So not only another lakkhana but also other 2 lakkhana, dukkha lakkhana and another lakkhana. So here, so this is the one of the effective methods of approaching the discourse. Textual approach and contextual approach. So okay, let's go to the another point. So what are the typical features of a nature? So these are special characteristics of a nature. The special qualities of the nature. Specific features of the nature. So we can understand like that. Upada Vaya Vodito. So Uparinama Tavakarika nature Padikhipapatina Vadi Chatuni Karanedi and nature. So if one thing is endowed with these 4 conditions, it can be called a nature. So we can understand that is why these are the specific features of a nature. So in order to call an object a nature, so we need to focus this one. So Upada Vaya Vodito. So it means arising through the rising and falling or appearing and disappearing. So it must be processed appearing and disappearing. So and then another one is so the state of defilement. Viparinama. Not Aprinama, Viparinama. So Viparinama, the state of deformity or changing. So and then another specific feature is the state of existing temporarily. So everything is temporary. not long, not impermanent. Everything is temporary. One day we will gone, we will die. Everything or everyone is temporary. That is why don't get attached too much. Don't get too much. Don't get attached to something or someone too much. Everything or everyone is impermanent, temporary. Maybe you will understand that point. I hope. So don't get attached to something or someone too much, because so everything is temporary. So the state of existence is temporary. So this is the one of the specific features of anicca. And then, so the last one is here, anicca, paticca, patina. So removing the state of being permanent. So anicca is the opposite of nature. So we can understand like that. So these are the reasons for calling anicca or the specific feature of anicca. So we need to understand that like this. So for example, describe the specific features of anicca. At the time that you can imagine the answer to that question based on how many factors? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 factors or 4 conditions. So we can mention the specific feature of anicca based on these 4 conditions. For example, describe the specific features of anicca. At the time, it is write down just these 4 conditions. Very easy. Yeah? Very easy. You like it? Maybe. And then another one. What are the typical features of dukkha? So what is the special characteristics of dukkha? Here, sandapa dukkha, madukha, and then utuka, sinkha, patina, wadi, jatuhi, karanedi. So dukkha. So regarding the dukkha, now we need to emphasize the 4 conditions. So here. So in order to understand, in order to mention, so the specific features of dukkha here, so there are 4 conditions. So the nature of operation or the nature, the state of constantly being oppressed by aging, jara and death, marana. So you can look at yourself. Now our appearance is very different from the appearance of when we was young. No? Very different here. Very different. So we can check ourselves in order to understand this word. Abena, somebody, Pilanato. So we can understand like that. So we are always here oppressed by aging and so death. So we can understand like that. Jara, jadi, jara, marana. So we are always oppressed by jara and marana. Jara and jadi. So we can understand like that. So and then another one. So here, so dukkha method. So in this case, being difficult to bear. So being difficult to stand or being difficult to tolerate. So we can understand like that. And then, so dukkha mututo. So the foundation of suffering. So the foundation of suffering, and then removing the state of happiness. The state of happiness. So dukkha is the opposite of sukha. So in this case, there are 2 types of dukkha you have already known. So physical suffering and mental suffering. So physical suffering is unavoidable. Physical suffering is avoidable. Everyone will face a physical suffering. So mental suffering is optional. No? Mental suffering is optional. Physical suffering is unavoidable or inevitable. So we need to understand generally the differences between kayika dukkha and cetasika dukkha. So every animate thing, sattva will face physical suffering, but mental suffering is avoidable for some person, especially arahata. So they never feel sad, they never feel angry. So very peaceful life, very peaceful life. That is why there are 2 types of dukkha: physical suffering and mental suffering. For the physical suffering, so we cannot avoid. For the mental suffering, so some people can avoid mental suffering. So we can understand like that. And then another one. So what are the typical features of anatta? Please emphasize this one for the anatta lakkhana sutta. So this is directly related to the anatta lakkhana sutta. So what are the typical features of anatta? So please emphasize or please remember this point. This one is one of the questions for the anatta lakkhana sutta. So please remember. So this one. What are the typical features of anatta? So let's see. So here, so the first physical feature is being devoid of person or beings. According to the anatta, so we cannot see this one is person or this one is beings. So everything is by the aggregate sonya. It is called sonya. So being devoid of persons or beings, being without having a person or beings in the world, it is sonya. And then another one is a being without a master or owner, as a nika. So without master or without the owner. So we can understand like that. And then ane serena. So we cannot control the nature. So the five aggregate. So we can understand like that. So we can understand like that having no power of influence. And then ane serena. So ane serena, so it means so we cannot control the nature of the five aggregate. We have no power to control the nature of the five aggregates. The last one is removing the nature of the soul. So it is the opposite of atta. So we can understand like that. That is why we need to remember these four conditions in order to mention the specific features of anatta. So here, what are the typical or specific features or characteristics of anatta? So four conditions. So sonya, asamika, anisarana, atta, badekripa, patina. So we need to remember so this point in order to mention the special characteristics of anatta. So very easy. So these are the reasons for calling anatta or the specific features of anatta. And then, so we need to understand this point as well. What is anicca? What is anicca lakkhana? So here anicca means khanda panchakan. So very easy. What is anicca? So anicca means khanda panchaka. Khanda panchaka is called, khanda panchaka are called. So the five aggregates are called anicca. So very easy. So customer, why the five aggregates are called anicca? So we can understand like that. So here, so why? So because they appear and disappear. So we can understand like that. So and then it makes the conditions. Then the sankhara dhamma arises at the present moment. Titi kala. So different. In other words, because the five aggregates are impermanent. So we can understand like that. So it is called anicca. And then what is anicca lakkhana? Here, anicca lakkhana means the state of arising and falling. That is one point. The state of making sankhara dhamma arising at the present moment, different things on the nature of appearance. So that is why. So we can see, we can understand anicca lakkhana like this. And then what is dukkha lakkhana? So the same, the deva, khanda, panchakan. So here, so dukkha. So kasama, abhina, somebody, pilana dot, abhina, somebody, pilana karo, dukkha lakkhana. So here, according to this statement, dukkha means the group of five aggregates, the same. Why the five aggregates are called dukkha? So here, so it is called dukkha because the five aggregates are constantly or forever oppressed by the impact of appearing and disappearing. So everything or everyone is appearing and disappearing. So we can understand like that. So and then here dukkha lakkhana means the state or mood of being oppressed constantly or forever. So we can understand like that. This is the definition of dukkha lakkhana. So please remember this point. So what is anatta and what is anatta lakkhana? So today what khanda bajaka anatta kasama awasa udana do awasa udana garot anatta lakkhana. So according to these statements, so anatta means the group of 5 aggregates. So in this case we can make the conclusion. So what kind of dhamma are called anicca, dukkha and anatta? So the 5 aggregates are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So briefly we can understand like this. So what kind of dhamma are called anicca, dukkha and anatta? So according to this statement we can make the conclusion like this. So the 5 aggregates are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So we can understand like that. After that, so here, so anatta lakkhana means the way or mood or not arising according to one's own wish or the mood or not allowing one's own desire. So we cannot manage or we cannot control the nature of the 5 aggregates. We have no the power or we have no opportunities or we have no power of mighty to control or to manage our 5 aggregates as we wish. So it means so anatta lakkhana. So the way or the mood of not arising according to our own wishes or the mood of not following our own desire. So the nature of the 5 aggregate flows according to their nature. We cannot manage or we cannot control the nature of the 5 aggregates. It means anatta lakkhana. So we can easily understand like that. And then the other statements are different between anicca lakkhana, dukkha lakkhana, and anatta lakkhana. For example, what are the differences between anatta and anatta lakkhana? At the time, so it is just write down these 2 paragraphs. So very easy. If you have another idea, you can add it here. So if you do not like this translation, you can use your own translation here. So what are the differences between anatta and anatta lakkhana at the time? So if you like this translation, you can memorize. If you do not like it, so you can translate this Pali word into English, and then you can write down your own translation regarding this question. What are the differences between anatta and anatta lakkhana? So very easy and very useful for us in order to understand anatta and anatta lakkhana. So what kind of dhamma are called anicca, dukkha and anatta? So according to the above statement, so we can understand the 5 aggregates are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So here the commentator mentioned another information related to anicca, dukkha and anatta here. So matters, feeling, perception, the same. So matter, feeling, perception, formations and consciousness are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So regarding these points, it is better for you to read these discourses. So whenever you get a free time, anicca sutta, and then anicca dharma sutta, dukkha sutta, dukkha dharma sutta, anatta sutta, and anatta dharma sutta. Very short discourse. So one sutta is only 1 page. Very short. So very short discourse. So Sanyutta Nikaya, volume 2, the page number 159 to 161. So very useful for you in order to understand. So what kind of, in order to understand the question, what kind of dhamma are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So the Buddha mentioned in detail the 5 aggregates are called anicca, dukkha, anatta. So in these discourses, according to the above discourses, so we can understand. So the 5 aggregates are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So here, so another points are mentioned by the commentators regarding the dhamma. So here, Panchakhanda, Dwarasa Yatanani, Atharasa Dhatuyoti, Idani, Sabami, Anicca, dukkha, anatta, nama. So according to this statement, so we can understand not only the 5 aggregates, but also 12 ayatana, 18 dhatus are called anicca, dukkha and anatta. So we need to understand this point. Here according to the above statement, not only the 5 aggregates, but also 12 kinds of beings, ayatana. So 18 kinds of elements are called anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Maybe you have already known these points. So actually these points are mentioned Abhidhamma Atthakatha Volume 2, especially Vibhanga Atthakatha Volume 2, page number 47. So you can find out this information in order to clearly understand. So what kind of Dhamma are called anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So based on these two statements given by the original text and the commentator of Vibhanga Atthakatha, so we need to understand different kinds of Dhamma which are called anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So according to the original text, we can understand the 5 aggregates are called anicca, dukkha, and anatta. But according to the commentator, if we consider the information given by the commentator, we need to understand not only the 5 aggregates but also 12 ayatana, 18 dhatus are called anicca, dukkha, and anatta. So please remember this point. Here, what is special about contemplating 3 characteristics? So when we contemplate the 3 characteristics, so do we need to practice them in sequence, one after another, in numerical order, namely anicca, dukkha, and anatta? So I have already asked this question in the first year of BA, especially when we study Tula Sijaka Sutta. So some people regarding the practice of the lakkhana, some meditator or some person misunderstand. When we contemplate 3 characteristics, we need to practice one by one. First of all, we need to practice anicca. After that, we need to practice dukkha. In the end, we need to practice anatta. Some people understand like that. According to this information, we don't need to practice 3 characteristics in sequence one by one. So which one is the most suitable for us to understand the nature of their characteristics? So at the time we can choose and then we can practice according to our wish. So here, when the practice anatta lakkhana is perfectly accomplished, dukkha lakkhana and anatta lakkhana are also accomplished. So for example, it means if a person clearly understands the nature of anicca, so the remaining he can automatically or easily understand the remaining characteristics, dukkha lakkhana and anicca lakkhana. So we can understand like the why. So they are separate, they are not separate from anatta lakkhana. They are interrelated. They are interdependent. That is why if we understand, if we clearly understand one of them, the remaining can be understood clearly. That is why we don't need to practice one by one. So if we clearly understand one of them, we can clearly understand the remaining characteristics. So we can understand like that. Here they are connected with anatta lakkhana in condition theme, Sinkata Dhamma. So here, Saiti anatta lakkhane, dukkha lakkhana, anicca lakkhana, Saiti mewa hodi, Sinkata Dhammesu, Tata Vina Bhavato, Tata Vina Bhavato. So here, the relation is like this. So if a person practice anatta lakkhana perfectly, so dukkha lakkhana and anicca, this is dukkha lakkhana and anicca lakkhana, not anatta lakkhana. So let me state. So anicca lakkhana are also accomplished because they are interrelated. So we can understand like that. So these are how to practice 3 characteristics one by one or one of them. So we can understand like that. Here I mentioned I'm given some references given by the Visuddhimagga Mahadika. So that Visuddhimagga Mahadika is translated by the Mahasi Sayadaw. So very interesting and very useful for us when we give the Dhamma talk related to meditation. So at the time, we can give the instruction to our meditator how to practice the 3 characteristics one by one or one of them. So we can give the instruction. So here If the contemplation or notion is stopped, framed and poured in the mind of the meditator, so the remaining two contemplations, anicca-nupassana, dukkha-nupassana, arise together with the anatta-nupassana. They follow anatta. That is why we don't need to practice one by one. So, if we understand the one of them clearly, the remaining two characteristics can be easily understood. So we can understand like that. We will stop for today. See you next week.